Well, today I'll be showing you how to use a pH meter. It's nothing really fancy, but it is one of our most used instruments in the pharmaceutical lab. And as such, we will train our interns and our staff on how to calibrate it and how to measure the pH of different pharmaceutical solutions using the pH meter. Just remember that I'm not going to be judgmental, and if you don't understand something, you can ask. I will be more than happy to explain or re-explain to you if necessary. So let's get right into it. Seeing that you are doing your degree in biochemistry, are you familiar with the pH meter? Is it something that you've used before?
I have used it in chemistry, but as you have said before, there are different types, and I'm not familiar
with this one. All right, so what do you know about the pH meter?
It's used to calibrate solutions, the pH, so we can adjust accordingly depending on the experiments.
Okay, so that's you learn about it from that standpoint. Well, so I just want to start by telling you about this pH meter. As I said, different pH meters are different based on the brand, the company. Alright, so this pH meter is a thermoscientific Orion Star A211 pH meter. It comes with a probe, a pH probe. It also has a temperature probe inside of it. Alright, but alright, so since you said you have used a pH meter, you've listed why you use it, so you know that we have to calibrate a pH meter before we measure the pH of a substance. Why is it important to calibrate a pH meter?
I think it's important because depending on the solution that you're using, you want it to have no prior use before. Like, for example, if it was used before and calibrating on something else, you want to recalibrate so that you can get accurate measurements.
Alright, that is a good reasoning, but other than that, and that's good too, you need to check because somebody might have calibrated it using different solutions, and what you're measuring have different pH, so you will have to recalibrate. But initially, what I was looking for, you need to calibrate a pH meter because you need a reference. So when you calibrate it, it's like you have a reference to say between this and this is what the pH is, and you can use it as a reference to calibrate so that you can see where your sample falls within that calibration range. If I'm going too fast, or if there's something you don't understand, just stop me and I'll explain to you and so you can get it. So that's why for this training session, we have a few objectives that we hope you will achieve by us doing this training. The first one, we will want you to calibrate this pH meter using the buffers that we are using today. So you should be able to do it with about 90% accuracy. If you fall short, then I will assist you. You would also need to say whether or not it is a good calibration based on the slope that you get and the limits provided for the slope. Also, I would want you to appreciate the importance of cleaning the probe before transferring it to the different solutions. And finally, I would want you to be able to measure the pH of a paracetamol or a solution with 100% accuracy. So it comes with different modes. So you have a pH mode, a conductivity mode, so it can do different things. So that's it, you can select the mode to go on pH. So let's put it back on pH. Alright, so it's on pH now. You see the pH mode, and you have the ATC where you can take your temperature. The next part of the pH meter is the probe, which I've shown you before. It is stored in a solution. The solution for the probe is potassium chloride, so ensure anytime the pH probe is not in a solution or is not being used, it is returned, it is washed with distilled water and returned to this storage solution. Okay. Alright, so let us start our calibration procedure. So for today, we'll be using pH buffer 4. Okay. See it? And pH buffer. Let's repeat already. And pH buffer 7. When we're selecting our buffers, the first thing we want to check on is the expiry date of our buffers. So for instance, you see this buffer expires March of next year, and this one expires October of this year. So you have to ensure whatever buffer you're using, they are current and they're not expired, because expired buffers can give you incorrect results. All right. So we're choosing buffer 4 and 7. Why are we choosing buffer 4 and 7? Because the sample I'm working with today has a pH between 4 and 7. So if you're doing a next solution that has a pH higher than 7, you would use buffer 10. So you have to choose the buffers based on your expected sample. So to calibrate now, first we are going to remove our storage solution, but you put it securely so you don't want the solution to throw away. And you're going to rinse your probe with distilled water. Okay. All right. So you want to rinse, especially down here where the sensor is on the probe, you want to rinse it. All right. So that would be good. So you want to blot dry your pH electrode with a soft tissue paper. You don't want to use anything rough to disturb the surface of the pH probe. Okay. So you wipe down the sides and you slightly tap the bottom. So that's it for cleaning the pH meter. You remove your pH storage solution. Next thing, we're going to start with buffer 7. You can start with whichever buffer you want, but I'll start with 7 for this demonstration. So I have this container here. We normally put a stir bar inside of it because we need the solution to mix while measuring. So what we do is we pour the buffer 7 into the solution, into the beaker. Put it on this stirring plate. And we allow it to stir. All right. And we place our pH probe securely into the solution. Ensure that the sensor is fully in the solution. Next, we would come here and we will have to press calibrate. So if you look on the screen, you can see calibrate, sample ID, and setup. So now that we calibrated, we're going to click F1 underneath calibrate to calibrate. All right, so now that it's in pH buffer 7, we will press this F3 for start. And while we start, we'll wait until the pH meter stabilizes and the reading is ready. So now we can see it has stabilized. If the reading is stable, accept and enter buffer value. So it's reading 7, so we're going to accept it. So now that we have accepted it, we are going to move on to our next buffer. So we press F2, next F2. All right. And to remove, you can turn off your stir bar, remove your pH probe, and then we will rinse and blot dry again. So we're going to pour buffer 4 now and repeat the same steps as before. So now we have our 2 buffers, buffer 7 and buffer 4. Now that we have finished, we'll press calibration done. So now we get our slope. The slope is 98.7. The acceptance limit for the slope is 92 to 102. If we have done the calibration and the slope falls outside that range, we have to recalibrate or change our buffers. The next step would be to measure buffer 4. So since we have calibrated, what we want to find out now is buffer 4 reading what it is supposed to be reading based on the calibration. We'll just put it back on and put back the probe in it since it was the last one that was so close. Alright. So what we'll come now and we'll press measure on our pH meter. So we are done calibrating, so we are pressing measure.
A few moments later.
Alright, so now that it has stabilized, we'll see ready come up on our screen. And it's reading 4.01, which is acceptable. We have rinsed our probe from all our buffer solutions. Now we can go on to measure the pH of our solution. So we have a stir bar in this solution. So what we're going to do is, for our paracetamol oral solution, we're going to put it on the stirring plate, stir it gently, insert our pH probe. And then we are going to go back to our pH meter now, and now we can press measure. And measure is down here. Measure.
Okay.
All right. And all we are going to do now is leave it until it says ready. And then we can take the pH. So now that the pH meter has stabilized and said ready, the pH of our paracetamol solution is 4.26. We will update our logbook with the 4.26 for the sample. So you know that we have gone through the video. Do you have any questions, or you think you can try it on yourself with a little help?
I think I can go on.
Oh, she can try it. All right, that's good. So let's go and see how you do this. And just remember, you can have any difficulties, I'm right here. Stop sharing. Alright, that's alright. Oh, yes, I'm gonna do this. Good job, Latoya. See you're blotting and drying your probe. So what's the next step? Some calibrate. Yes. You're going well, Latoya. You're going really well.
Alright, so I'll do another one.
Yes. Miss, watch what you're doing. You see? Get the fresh paper for the black and dry. Should make sure that I spill the
I do not in the browse.
you know for sure, yeah. 0-0. Alright, that's how you seem to be doing a very, very good job, man. We're actually closing to the end of the calibration. See? Calibration. Wow, Latoya, this is good. Latoya, you see your slope is 98.5%. So do you remember what the slope is supposed to be? What is the range?
The range is 92 to 102%.
So is this an acceptable?
Yes, it is acceptable.
Alright, so our pH meter is calibrated.
Okay.
Alright. So you can move on. What is the next step?
So I'm going to wash the...
No, you can see.
I was going to wash the electrode and then measure.
No, since it's in buffer 7 already,
Okay.
you can just press measure.
I can measure.
Mhm.
Okay.
Whoa, pH buffer 7 is reading 7. So that was a very, very good calibration, Latoya. So we can move on to measuring our sample now.
So measuring pH 7, we will measure our sample.
Okay. Seem to be remembering everything, Latoya. And I love how you remember to always wash your probe when transferring from one solution to the next. That is very good, Latoya. Keep it up.
Do our sample.
Mm-hmm.
A few moments later.
That's why your pH meter says ready. And based on the buffers that we use, which two buffers did we use again?
Buffer 4 and buffer 7.
So is this within the calibration range of 4 and 7?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. You did a really good job, Latoya. Really, really good job. Good job. So sorry, now that we are finished with our pH probe, I see a rinsing, which is very good. What is the next step after we finish everything?
Into storage solution.
That is very good. I actually did not show you that, I only mentioned it, and it's very good that you remembered that that is the final step.
Okay.
Yes. Very good job, Latoya. A very, very good training session. You observe the material very well and you learn really quickly, and I guess your prior knowledge kind of help it as well. So Latoya, while you're here as an intern, what we will expect you to do, you should be able to calibrate the pH meter. You should be able to select which buffers to use. So just remember, you will always get an expected pH, so you choose buffers within where the pH falls within those ranges. Alright, so always remember to press calibrate when you're calibrating your pH meter. Whenever it's in the buffers or the sample, allow it to stabilize and stay ready before you take the reading. Right? And always remember to wash your pH probe with distilled water and block dry it before transferring from either buffers or from samples or before storage. Alright? Is there anything that wasn't clear? Anything that you want me to go over? Alright. Oh, you found everything clear. That's very good, Latoya. Alright, Latoya, thank you for coming and thank you for being an intern here. We really value you as a person, and we hope that you'll be calibrating a lot of pH meter and reading a lot of pHs for your rest of time here.